Everyone, welcome. So, you're prepping for the CUET sociology exam. You've come to the perfect spot. We're not just going to look at the syllabus today. Nope. We're building a full on strategic battle plan to help you absolutely crush it. You ready? Let's dive right in. Okay, let's be real for a second. You open up that syllabus and wow, it's huge, right? It feels like this giant mountain of topics and theories. And if you're sitting there feeling totally overwhelmed, thinking, where on earth do I even start? Trust me, you're not alone. That's exactly what we're here to tackle. So, here's the first big secret you need to know about the CUET. This is not a rote memorization test. They're not just going to ask you to spit back definitions. No way. What they really want to see is if you get the core concepts and can actually apply them to what's happening in Indian society. It's all about thinking like a sociologist, not just memorizing like a robot. Okay, before we dive in, I need to be super clear about something. This is really important. The priority list we're about to share, it's based on a deep analysis of previous years' papers. It's a fantastic tool to help you study smart, especially if you're feeling the time crunch. And this is a big but if you do have the time, you must study the complete syllabus. Think of this as working smarter, not taking shortcuts. All right, here's our game plan. We're going to start by cracking the QED code, then I'll give you a strategic study blueprint. We'll spend a good chunk of time mastering those high priority core topics, then move on to securing your ranks with the other stuff. After that, we'll talk about winning strategies for different question types, and finally, we'll see how to turn all this preparation into a top notch performance. Okay. Let's get into the core strategy. Look, you can't study everything with the same intensity. That's a surefire way to burn out. The smart way to do this is with a priority based approach. We're going to focus our energy where it really, really counts. This little chart right here, this is basically our whole strategy in a nutshell. It's super simple. A massive 60%, that's more than half of your study time, needs to go towards the high priority topics. Then about 25% for the medium ones and a focused 15% for the low priority stuff. See, it's not about studying everything the same amount, it's about mastering the most important stuff first. Now, hold on before we jump into the topics. I have to share a really important disclaimer. Please listen closely. These priorities are based on previous year patterns and are helpful to prepare. If time is short, given time, one must study complete syllabus. So just to be crystal clear, this is a guide for smart, efficient prep, especially if you're short on time. It is not a replacement for studying the whole syllabus, if you can. Okay, here we go. This is the big one, the high priority core. Getting these next topics down cold is frankly non-negotiable. This is where you build the foundation for a great score. This is where the exam is won or lost. So let's really focus in. This table lays out 4 super important processes of social change in India. You've got to know these. First up, Sanskritization. Think of it as lower castes adopting the customs of upper castes to try and climb the social ladder. A real world example is seeing the practice of dowry spread. Now, don't confuse that with westernization. That's much broader. It's about adopting Western lifestyles, values, tech, like using English or our formal education system. And then there's modernization. This is different. Again, it's about a shift to rationality, science, technology. The perfect example is India's booming IT sector. And last, we have secularization, which is when religion has less and less influence on public life, leading to more secular laws. Getting the subtle differences between these 4 absolutely key. All right. Next up, a question that hits another high priority home run: demographics. The city loves to test the demographic transition model, and there's one part they always focus on. So think about this. Why does stage 2 of this model cause a population explosion? The answer is actually a pretty simple 2-step logic bomb. First, the death rate plummets. Why? Better healthcare, more food, better medicine. People just start living longer. That part's easy to grasp. And here's the kicker. The birth rate stays high, it doesn't drop. At the same time, social norms about having big families, literacy rates, the need for more helping hands on the farm, that stuff takes generations to change. So what do you get? Way fewer people dying, but the same number of babies being born. The gap between those two lines is boom, a population explosion. Okay, so besides those 2 big ones, you also got a master. Topics under social inequality, we're talking patriarchy, caste prejudice, and know what the PEC and Act is for social change and policy, the RTI Act. Make a note of that 2005 date, and the Raj system are must knows. And here's the golden rule: if you remember nothing else, remember this social inequality plus those cultural processes we just talked about together, they make up roughly 35% of the entire paper. So, yeah, focus here. All right. Once you've locked down that high priority core, it's time to go from a good score to a great score. These next topics, the medium and low priority ones, are what will secure your rank. This is how you round out your knowledge and get ready for anything they might throw at you. Okay? For your medium priority topics, that's our 25% time block. Let's be efficient under social institutions. Just drill this into your head. Caste is an ascribed status. You're born with it under economy. Understand capitalism basics and know about things like bonhomie, transfers used to get around land reforms and for social movements. Know the difference. Revolutionary wants to overthrow the system. Reformist wants to change it from within. Simple. Then, for that last 15% of your time, hit the low priority stuff, understand what communalism is, and have a general idea about how media and globalization are changing things. That's it. Smart targeted revision. Okay, so knowing all this stuff is great, but it's only half the battle. Now we need to talk about how to turn that knowledge into actual marks. It's time to get tactical and look at winning strategies for the specific types of questions you're going to see. Just look at this breakdown. That first massive bar, that's your standard multiple choice question, over half the paper right there. Now add in that second bar, the comprehension passages together, that's more than 70% of your entire exam. This chart is literally screaming at us where we need to focus our energy. Let's talk comprehension. Here's the trap almost everyone falls into. They start reading the whole long passage first. Big mistake. Waste so much time. Here's the winning strategy: read the questions first, seriously. That way you know what you're looking for. You get your keywords and then you just scan the passage like a search engine hunting for the answers. It's so much faster. Air chronology questions, they can feel impossible, right? The trap is trying to memorize every single date. It's a nightmare. But there's a secret hack. The winning strategy is to master just five. Yes, five. Anchor years 1857, 1917, 1920, 1976, and 2000. Burn those in your brain. Then, for any other event, you just figure out where it fits between these anchors. It's a game changer. And what about those awful questions with multiple statements where you have to figure out which ones are correct? The trap is getting all tangled up trying to analyze every statement. Don't do that. Here's the winning play. Your only job is to find one statement that is definitely 100% wrong. The second you find it, you can usually cross out 2 or even 3 of the answer choices right away. It's all about elimination. Okay, we have covered a ton. We know what to study, why it's important, and how to tackle the questions. We've got the strategy. Now, let's talk about the final piece of the puzzle, the tool that brings all of this together and helps you turn all this prep into an amazing performance on exam day. So, the big question is, how do you actually do all this? Well, that's where Easy to Learn's AI powered Cube platform comes into play. It's a revolutionary way to study that's built to help you use these exact strategies we've been talking about so you can finally study smarter, not just harder. Check this out. It has this incredible tool called the Gap Fixer that actually diagnoses your weak spots for you. So you're not guessing anymore. You're focusing your time exactly where you need it most. And if you get stuck, you've got Tony, your 24/7 AI buddy, ready to help you with any concept literally anytime you need it. And there's more. You get the exam room, which lets you practice in a simulated exam environment. This is where you master your timing and your accuracy. And on the other side, you get these super detailed reports and analytics. It's like your personal progress tracker, showing you exactly how far you've come and lighting up your improvements in green. It's exactly what the tagline says: ease to learn where your effort meets intelligence. So the real question is, are you ready to study smarter? Don't let this be the end. Go check out our other ETL videos for English, aptitude, economics, science, you name it. Thanks for tuning in. Best of luck with your prep, and I'll catch you in the next one.